Bienvenidos a Sherlock Holmes vs. Arsène Lupin. Bueno, parece que ya conseguí hacer los...
Perhaps I'd be able to find something useful in this case, but it is locked.
Los balloons. Creo que por acá no vine todavía. Tal vez sea la llave que
Look, this
necesito.
warder must have lost this key in falling. What could it be for? If I am to believe the tag on his uniform, this warder is called Summerby. Apparently he was also taken care of by the doctor, Dr. Lupin.
Si tengo que creer en la etiqueta de su uniforme, este guardia se llama Summerby. Aparentemente fue atendido por el médico, el Dr. Lupin. Bien, llave.
This may prove to be useful.
Parece un cuchillo.
This may prove to be useful.
Un destornillador. Y no me permite agarrar más nada. Hace una lima. Uno nunca sabe. Bien. Sigamos investigando ahí. Creo que en esta habitación ya no quedó más nada para usar. Vamos a ver qué hay por acá. ¿Qué dice? Casa joya.
It's the door of the Queen's jewel house, and it is quite solid. Was that the sound of a saw from behind the door? Lupin could be finished in his work any moment. I must make haste.
Dice, esta es la puerta de la casa de las joyas de la reina y bastante sólida. ¿Fue ese el sonido de una sierra detrás de la puerta? Lupin terminará su trabajo en cualquier momento. Debo darme prisa. Ok. Mapa. Si no mal recuerdo, creo que es por acá. Acá estoy yo. Entonces... da igual, ¿no? Salgo por acá. Por la puerta. Porque tendría que estar para este lado. Ahí está.
This rope is very high. I must burn the rope that Lupin strung between the jewel house and the exterior. Otherwise he will escape that way. Quickly, time is pressing.
Todavía tenemos encerrado a este tipo acá. ¿Verdad?
The lock of the grill has been changed, and I can no longer open. Take this file, it's all that I could find. Is there any way to enter the jewel house without a key?
No, not without a cannon at least.
In that case, I'll have to find one.
You are kidding, I'm sure.
I would not trifle with such a serious matter as this.
The munitions are found in the armory at the top of the staircase heading to the White Tower, the central tower. Apart from the one on my keychain, the other key is found in one of the service buildings, and it will be far too complicated to tell you how to locate it.
Pray, release yourself as quickly as possible. Go find the key and open the door of the armory for me. I will join you there. Is that your scarf over there? Can you please pass it to me?
My daughter just finished knitting it.
She should start knitting another, because before entering the jewel house, I must block Lupin's retreat.
A ver qué fue lo que pasó. Sherlock Holmes, tome este archivo. Es todo lo que pude encontrar. ¿Hay alguna forma de entrar a la casa de joyas sin una llave? Herrero. No, sin un cañón al menos. Sherlock. En ese caso, tendré que encontrar uno. Herrero. ¿Bromeas? Estoy seguro de que Sherlock no jugaría con un asunto tan serio. Smith. Las municiones se encuentran en la armería en el arriba de la escalera que lleva a la torre blanca y la torre central. Además de que está la de mi llavero y la otra se encuentra en uno de los edificios de servicio y estaría lejos de complicado decirte cómo localizarlo. Sherlock, por favor, libérate lo más rápido posible. Ve a buscar la llave y ábreme la puerta de la armería. Me reuniré contigo ahí. Esta es tu bufanda de ahí. ¿Me lo puedes pasar, por favor? Y lo último que dice: mi hija acaba de terminar de tejerlo. Sherlock, debería empezar a tejer otro, porque antes de entrar a la casa de joyas debo desbloquear la retirada de Lupin. Ok. Entonces, efectivamente. Bien, esto es lo que necesitábamos y necesitamos prender fuego esto. Tal vez no. Y mientras este va escapando, intuyo, digo que tengo que ir para acá. Correr a la puerta. Abrir la puerta, no al inventario. Y ahora sí. Prender fuego todo. Sí.
I will ignite my balloons as soon as I release them. Watch out, they're off.
Quema bastante bien. Impresionante. Como no se descontroló todo.
Somewhat damaged to no longer be able to support a heavy load. Let's see if Smith has been able to get out and find the key to the arsenal.
Dice, la cuerda debe haberse dañado un poco para que ya no pueda soportar una pesada carga. Así que... ahí. Y nosotros deberíamos ir acá. Habíamos dicho que iba a venir el Smith. Después que nos íbamos a encargar de esto.
I've been working as quickly as I could, but my old arms have been shaking like leaves with the effort.
While I'm taking care of the robber, you'll need to get to the base of Big Ben in order to find one of the officers thereabouts, because I don't think you'll find another in the whole of London.
But what are they doing there?
Dice, Smith, he estado trabajando lo más rápido que he podido, pero mis viejos brazos han estado temblando como hojas con el esfuerzo. Sherlock, mientras me ocupo del ladrón, debería llegar a la base de Big Ben para poder encontrar a uno de los oficiales por ahí, porque yo... no creas que voy a encontrar todo en Londres, Herrero. ¿Pero qué hacen allí? No, esto es el principio, esto es lo último. Supongo que... mientras tanto...
Enough already. Enough. Prime Minister.
Where is he then, this Lupin? Does he think I have nothing better to do?
I've just done my round. You wouldn't believe, but there's a mob of journalists down there.
Well, that takes the biscuit.
It's not surprising. Half the force has been kicking their heels in front of Big Ben for the past 8 hours. It couldn't go unnoticed forever.
Journalists? A mob? Yes, but of course.
What now, Doctor?
Inspector, check the identities of the journalists. Lupin has previously disguised as a journalist, and I am sure it was he who alerted them in order to create a diversion and slip in.
Well played, Doctor. I'm on it. At last, some action.
Lupin has previously disguised himself as a journalist, did you say? When was this then, Doctor?
Ah, well,
Lestrade, debería felicitar al Dr. Watson un poco más y habría sido el escondite policial más largo de todos los tiempos. Watson, calma, caballeros, calma. Lupin no tardará ahora. Primer ministro, basta, ya fue suficiente. Watson, primer ministro, primer ministro. ¿Dónde está entonces Lupin? ¿Cree que no tengo nada mejor que hacer? Lestrade, acabo de hacer mi ronda, no creeráis, pero hay una turba de periodistas aquí abajo. Primer ministro, bueno, eso se lleva la galleta. Lestrade, no es de extrañar la mitad de las fuerzas de Estado pateando sus talones frente al Big Ben durante las últimas 8 horas. No podría pasar desapercibido por siempre. Y por último, Watson. ¿Periodistas? ¿Una turba? Sí, pero por supuesto. Primer ministro. ¿Y ahora qué, doctor? Watson. Inspector, verifique las identidades de los periodistas. Lupin se había disfrazado previamente de periodista y estoy seguro de que fue él quien nos alteró para crear una distracción y colarse. Lestrade. Bien jugado, doctor. Estoy en ello. Por fin algo de acción. Primer ministro. Lupin se ha disfrazado previamente de periodista, ¿dijiste? ¿Cuándo fue entonces, doctor Watson? Yo... No hace... Pobre Watson, no hace una bien. Estamos acá adentro. ¿Dónde estamos? Ah, ya sé. Vinimos a por pólvora. Y una bala de cañón. ¿Pólvora tenemos? ¿Cuántas cosas? ¿Qué es esto?
A small barrel of powder.
Bien. Ajá. Acá nos dice cuál calibre. Ok. Primero necesito saber el cañón. Que creo que es uno que está afuera.
Curious. One of these glasses, which resembles those in a chemist's laboratory, reads 2.8 ounces. The other gradings have been erased.
Curioso, uno de los vasos se parece a los del laboratorio de un químico, lee 2,8 onzas. Las otras clasificaciones han sido borrado. Acá hay otra cosa para agarrar.
This may prove to be useful.
Esta podría serme útil. Ajá. Esto no, como mecha, no.
This thick cover could support a very heavy load.
Dijo algo así como que era pesado. Por acá entré. Bien, entonces, ¿qué tenemos? Tenemos Power Ked, que vendría a ser barril de pólvora. Un vaso que mide 2,8 onzas. Este mide 4. Balística. Tapa de caja. Bien. Voy a fijarme, porque salí de acá, no sé. En el mapa. Nosotros, no, claro, no nos marca dónde estamos. Estamos acá. Más o menos. Yo quiero usar un cañón de estos. Quiero usar este cañón, ¿verdad? Por supuesto que quiero usar ese cañón.
The interior diameter of this cannon is approximately 2.5 inches.
2,5. 2,5. ¿Puedo agarrar esto?
This cannon is heavy, but I will be able to push it. I will need to find a way to move it to the front of the door of the Queen's Jewel House.
Este cañón es pesado, pero podré empujarlo. Tendré que encontrar una manera de moverlo hasta enfrente de la puerta de la Queen. De la Queen.
This cannon is heavy, but I will be able to push it. I will need to find a way to move it to the front of the door of the Queen's Jewel House.
Okay, items. Ok. 2,5. Una cosa así. Acá. Necesito una carga de... Respetar las dosis durante la carga del cañón. Consecuencias. Una carga de centímetros cúbicos de 478. ¿Y por qué? Está medido en onzas. Bueno, supongo que...
This cannon is heavy, but I will be able to push it. I will need to find a way to move it to the front of the door of the Queen's Jewel House. The interior diameter of this cannon is approximately 2.5 inches. These cannonballs have a diameter of 2 inches. These cannonballs have a diameter of 2.5 inches. These cannonballs are very heavy. I can only take one at a time.
Una a la vez. Ok. ¿En qué orden tiene que ir? 1, 2, 3, 4. Primero la pólvora y después la bala. La bala y después la pólvora.
This cannon is heavy, but I will be able to push it. I will need to find a way to move it to the front of the door of the Queen's Jewel House.
Ok. Items. ¿Me habría olvidado algo en alguna habitación? Tipo los...
Certainly a gift for a child.
Roller skates.
Certainly a gift for a child.
Roller skates.
¿Por qué no me dejas agarrarlos? ¿Con esto?
Certainly a gift for a child.
O
Roller
con el
skates.
destornillador.
This may prove to be useful.
Por supuesto. Listo. Pa' adentro, carrito.
Now I can push it to the door of the jewel house.
Por supuesto.
The stairs are preventing me from getting past. How can I mount them with my artillery?
Las escaleras me impiden pasar. ¿Cómo puedo montarlo? Montarlos con mi artillería.
I need something. The stairs are preventing me from getting past. How can I mount them with my artillery? The stairs are preventing me from getting past. How can I mount them with my artillery? I need something.
¿Por qué me está señalando acá?
There, the door is dismantled. Now I must find the appropriate location where I should place it. There, the door is dismantled.
Ok.
Elementary.
Elemental. Pa' adentro.
There, now I am in firing position, and there's nothing more to do but load this cannon.
Correcto.
I must decant the proper amount of powder into this receptacle and pour it into the cannon.
Por supuesto. ¿Qué es esto? Ok, necesito 478.
I must decant the proper amount of powder into this receptacle and pour it into the cannon.
$4.78.
Elementary.
Listo. Bien, no lo veo el cañón. Esto es bellísimo. ¿Necesitaremos verlo? Ante la duda. No sé qué va primero. ¿La pólvora?
Elementary.
Y después va la habana. Y por último, prender fuego todo. Fuego. Sigue de chill, ahí todo tranquila.
From the rope originating from this window, it's, let's say, suffered by my hand, and there's no chance that it'll support your weight nor the items that I imagine you to be carrying.
You impress me, Mr. Holmes. You see, I concocted this plan with such thoroughness and, I'm sure you'll agree, a fair amount of genius, such that I was saddened that none would see it as I brought it to fruition. And yet, there you were from the first. A bit too close for comfort, wasn't it? And if you are here, it's because you must have searched, and most certainly found all of the parts of the puzzle, down to the smallest detail, and I can't but congratulate you on your performance. I am a gentleman, Mr. Holmes, and even if I didn't always show good sportsmanship during this adventure, my sense of honor obliges me to acknowledge your victory tonight. As someone who never knew defeat before meeting you, I would like to express my admiration and how honored I am that you not only played this game with me, but won also.
You should, Monsieur Lupin, understand that I share your admiration and know that if you're giving me the honor of the victory tonight, it was yours the last 4 times.
Your intelligence has no equal apart from your sense of chivalry, Mr. Holmes. You know as well as I do, those were but a few minor obstructions, and whoever wins the final battle takes the war.
Despite everything, our camp suffered some losses, the gravity of which could have been fatal if they had been made public. No one, myself included, would have come out of a Pyrrhic victory unscathed.
I betrayed myself by doing anything that could have harmed your reputation. I am duty-bound to you, Mr. Holmes, and I will accept your conditions, even if they dishonor me, as long as they don't dishonor my country.
You managed, thanks to your remarkable intelligence, to deny me any margin of maneuverability to decide in advance should we find ourselves in the situation in which we are. It was a chess match, and there is nothing remaining on the table but the 2 kings. This is a classic stalemate, wouldn't you agree?
You will find at this address a master's painting, a great rock, and a few birds. As for what Her Majesty wished for me, I had no choice but to give it to her at that very instant. Once again, I am at a loss for words to express the pleasure that I took from this adventure with you. Even if it costs me, I promise, on my honor, that I will never publicize the account of what took place.
We shall not meet again, my friend, but know that during the past few days, your presence in our soil did as much honor to your country as ours. Safe journey, Monsieur Lupin.
What? You'll let him leave like that?
What choice did I have, Watson? Look at the whole picture. Lupin's real intent was to steal the crown jewels. The goal of all the other thefts was to provide a sort of insurance in the case of failure, and, above all, to ensure the services of a plethora of accomplices. Us.
Us? Accomplices? I admit that I was fooled once, but I didn't steal anything.
From the moment we read Lupin's first letter, we became his accomplices. In fact, by having us play his game, Lupin was conditioning us. After the first theft, he left clues leading us to the second, from the second to the third. So well that as the second to last theft, we were convinced that Lupin's final target would be Big Ben. Lupin knew that the authorities, headed by the Prime Minister himself, would align themselves with the only person who could sort out Lupin's schemes as they happened: myself. Therefore, in controlling me, he was controlling all of London's police force, and he nearly succeeded.
Then why not simply steal the jewels to begin with? Why this whole masquerade?
I've just explained it, Watson. In order to steal the crown jewels, Lupin had to accomplish certain preliminaries. In the first place, he had to be assured that the garrison would be only minimally guarded on the night of the theft. Therefore, he started using a disguise, of course, by getting rid of the garrison's usual doctor, by giving him a free trip to the continent. He also befriended the cook under another identity, while the cook was out on the town. Thus, he was able to suggest a specific recipe for a specific date, the eve of the jewel theft. Then he went to nab the ravens. The effects of this theft permitted him to first create an inauspicious event that forced a reduction in the size of the garrison so that the news wouldn't spread. Second, to have access to the storeroom in order to poison the tomatoes that were going to be used in the recipe that he gave to the cook. Third, to pose as Paul Cernil, that doctor who would be called in the case of emergency. Fourth, given that a theft had already taken place at the Tower of London, we would have had to have bats in the belfry to think that there would be another. Lupin also needed to get the police out of the area, which happened as I already explained.
I understand, but what of the other thefts?
A part of the process of conditioning, they caused us to put little weight on the theft in the Tower of London. If that had been the only prelude, we would have taken more time to ponder the clues and find Lupin's true intentions. Yet this time he didn't leave it up to us. And so, like I told you, these thefts were his insurance. Lupin had beaten us 4 times on the battlefield of English honor, such as he had suggested to us in his letter. Our pride in not bringing our defeats public was our sin, and it made us prisoners of his game. If he had proven beaten, he could have profited from the restitution of the objects, the price of his silence regarding our failures, and the true value of our police. A discreet release was a small price to pay with regards to an affront of international scope. Do not forget that the Queen herself is implicated.
Indeed. It is, moreover, a matter of conscience for me. When I write this adventure, I do not think I...
But there's no question, Watson. You cannot write about it. You promised before God that you wouldn't.
But, Holmes...
Your word is your bond. In any case, you wouldn't want to relate the ignoble theft that you committed, that of my Order of the Legion of Honor.
Holmes, you know that.
It's in the past, Watson. It's in the past. Incidentally, a young woman came by to return it a few moments ago. She wanted to deliver it to you directly. She seemed to know you well. A young woman who can be found at the Golden Lion, am I right? She doesn't seem like your usual client, unless, of course, you were the client in this case. What do you say, Watson?
Bueno, seguramente todo el diálogo que estamos viendo lo voy a pasar. Fue el juego más tedioso que tuve que jugar por el hecho de que estaba en inglés y tenía que usar el traductor de Google, porque la mitad de las adivinanzas no las iba a sacar con mi inglés básico. Pese a eso, espero que les haya gustado la serie. De ser así, pueden dar like, suscribirse y dejar un comentario de la parte que más les gustó. Hasta la próxima.